welcome to another Pam the Van adventure. We've managed to get a few days off together, and we are, loosely speaking, going to explore sort of South Wales coast, Pembrokeshire. We have planned to stop at Mumbles tonight, Caswell Bay. Hopefully, if the sky is clear, Milky Way should be visible. If not, it's still a nice place to go. A couple of places to go visit, and we have a campsite booked for, I think, Monday evening, just to sort of recharge, emptying the other stuff we do. A bit unfortunate, we did have one book that looked absolutely gorgeous, and sadly they double booked, but these things happened, so a last minute scramble to find an alternative location, and we are good to go. Unusually for us, we're setting off quite early. It's only 8:30 at the moment, just so we can have an explore whilst we're down there. We'll catch you when we get there. I think it's fair to say today's been interesting in the Chinese curse sense of the phrase or word. Due to a slight typographical error, the sat-nav was set to Mumbles Country Park, not Mumbles, and it was 14 miles later when we saw a road called Mountain Road. We decided that wasn't the one for us. Turned around to find the car park we've used several times at Mumbles now has a height restriction on it, and all the other car parks now have no overnights, and they are pay literally per hour around the clock. Somewhat sneakily, the restrictions on parking is in what can I describe as Arial size 8 font, white on red, which is ridiculously hard to read. And although I have some sympathy, come on, we're not all bad as van people. You literally have just stopped us enjoying your area, and for that reason we're not going to spend our money here. So we came out of Mumbles, out of Caswell Bay, £4.50 for 2 hours. Come on, you're having a laugh. So we're now at Swansea Marina to car park here. That has no restrictions. A bit tight on spaces. I have no idea how I'm going to get out in the morning, but that's tomorrow's challenge. But yeah, no photos today. Kind of knocked the shine off it a bit, to be fair. But tomorrow is another day. What a difference 2 minutes makes. Somebody moved out of space, and I thought, if I don't move out of here now, I will get stuck in the morning. So my good lady saw me back. Another driver was apparently amazed at my ability not to hit things whilst manoeuvring in tight spaces. As I moved out of their way, somebody moved out of this humongous space, which is not a disabled, I have checked. And we literally now have about 4 foot over that side, and probably 2 foot over that side. And we parked nose towards it, so we are slightly nose high. We don't like to park nose down. It tends to lead to a bit of a strange night's sleep, given we sleep at head at the pointy end. But the day has improved. Well, good morning today too, and we're going off exploring. List of places to get to, not entirely sure which ones we're going to get to, which ones we're not. Some seem to include a precipitous walk. Good luck with that. Anyhow, the weather's a bit naff, but it was a good overnight spot, and we're going to explore and see what we can find. We were going to have a plan, but given up on those now.
Milford Haven is responsible for around 25% of the UK's energy import needs, and is an extremely busy shipping area with a near constant flow of vessels. On the 2nd of June 2011, at what was then at the time the Chevron facility, a large fire and explosion at a storage tank with a capacity of 730,000 litres took place. This sculpture was erected on the 31st of July 2013 as a memorial to the 4 contractors working at the site who lost their lives in that explosion. It has 5 metal posts around it. 4 have the names of those who were killed in this incident, and the 5th remembers another worker who lost his life at the same facility in 1989. In the background to the right, you can see another statue, this one crafted by artist Brian Hackett, and is a tribute to fishermen, unveiled and given a dedication ceremony in September 1992. We spent the first couple of days just generally adventuring around. The weather hasn't been fantastic to us, and to be fair, I was getting a little bit, I don't know, disheartened maybe. Anyhow, we found a lovely place to stay just outside Milford Haven, a place called Gelliswick. Good old park night strikes again. It says there was space for 4, and we found space for probably a whole lot more, but in fairness, there was only ourselves, one other beside us, and one on the park night spot. And we spent quite a happy while watching ships come in and be moved around by tugs and such like. Had a really nice peaceful night there. So hats off to Gelliswick, nice little place. And we even saw the tail end of the raft race. Today is now Sunday, think about that. And we have stopped off for the one night we've got booked at Castle Farm at Keyston. And I can only assume this is a very new site. We found it on Pitch Up. And it's absolutely amazing. It's really restored my faith in the day. Forgot to mention, we've also been down today to a place called the Blue Lagoon, which is a disused quarry, and we had a fantastic day there. Got some photos for the Mage stuff, watched all sorts of antics as people jumped off of things, and generally had a fantastic time. So here we are at Keyston, spelt 2 different ways depending on the road signs you read. And the facilities are awesome. And just whilst I'm sat here, I don't often sit here, I will refer you to just above my head. We often go into amusement parks, and we often talk about getting ducks. And if I keep scrolling up, you will see that up the top there, this is going to go horribly wrong. We have 1 duck, 2 ducks, goldy glittery duck and silver purpley glittery duck from our assorted amusement arcade exploits. So given this is such a lovely place, I'm going to have a quick tootle around with the camera, playing with the new microphone, and have the fantastic furry dead cat on. We'll see how it all works out. It'll either be brilliant, or I'll be doing it all again in a few minutes time, the old way. As we came up the driveway here, we were met by the very nice gentleman. I think his name's Neil, one of the owners of the site, along with I think it's Wendy's on the name pad there. Have a look in a sec. And he immediately came up and said hello to us and said, "Oh, you're on pitch 4." I said, "Just turn around there and back onto there." And he moved the little chain out of the way for us. And there we are. And it's absolutely gorgeous. I'm really, really blown away with it. We've got electric hook up there in the bottom corner. I actually feel really embarrassed about dragging a cable across it because it's so lovely. I'm guessing it's new. We'll try and find out later on. But everything is just perfect. It's a very small site, adults only. There is a much bigger site sort of over there somewhere, which I'm really glad we aren't on. But they've organised everything so superbly well. Anyhow, let's go tour the facilities, because I'm just blown away. They deserve a huge success. They really do. One of the benefits of being on pitch 4, and to be fair, pitch 1 isn't terribly far away, is how close we are to the facilities. We only ever book a campsite every sort of 4 or 5 nights basically. Really just to empty the toilet tank and top up with some fresh. But this place is absolutely brilliant. We'll start with the smelly stuff first. So we've got a good old CDP point down there, immaculately clean. So I'm guessing, say, it's quite a new site. Lovely long hose for cleaning and tidying afterwards, and even a dog waste bin as well, which is brilliant. Someone's done a bit of gardening. That's really very nice. We'll go up this little lovely stone path, and I hope they'll forgive me for again putting a video in here. Just before we do, I'll come around here. Lovely welcome note on there, saying it's closed and saying many thanks. And I've never seen so many recycling bins in one place in my life. So let's just duck under here. It is quite a duck for somebody my size. We've got grey bins, red. All the bins are actually black, to be fair, but they're labelled different things. We've got grey bins, red bins, blue bins. Where's your bins? Blue boxes, green boxes, and a lovely note from Neil and Wendy saying thank you for helping to keep it nice and tidy. As we go around here, they've even got a space for food waste and an absolutely fabulous full-size sink. Look at that, brilliant stuff. For a bit of washing up if that's your thing. We'll probably work in the van. It's got everything we need. We'll take a look in the shower rooms. There are two rooms here. They're both pretty much the same mirror image of each other in this very lovely wooden hut here. Plenty of spaces to hang coats and such up whilst you're having a shower and a clean. I do rather love this over here. Let's have a look for you. Hello sweet cheeks, have a seat. I think that's absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Okie dokie. And a very nice shower compartment. Lovely big screen there. Loads of space. They've really thought about this, and they've even got the thing you need most when you come out of a shower. Somewhere to put your soggy feet, and somewhere to sit down whilst you get your socks and shoes on. This whole place is absolutely brilliant. I really can't stress enough. All I can say is the thing that lets it down is that big ugly bloke over there. No idea where he come from, but really, really lovely place. None of these like horrible snotty notes or whatever else. Every note around here helping things is all handwritten. Big smiley faces at the end. So yeah, top marks, well done. Well, as you may have gathered, I'm rather quite taken with this place. I wish them absolutely every success. They've put a lot of time and effort into this. They've done a really good job of making it as it is. Like I say, we're not sponsored. We don't get paid by anyone to say what we say. So if we say it's because that's what we think. Yeah, right. Allegedly, the kettle has been on. 460 amp hookup. And I felt guilty about draining our cable across the cable. Look at this. Oh, lovely crunchy pat noise. Righto, let's go see if the kettle's boiled, and we'll sit down and chill out.
Good morning. We are at Castle Farm at Keystone. A very lovely night here. Fantastic site. We've since found out the owners have a camper van of their own. And it shows, because everything is exactly as you like it to be. There's water. There's grey water disposed, which for us isn't a great issue. We tend not to generate much. Showers and toilets absolutely immaculate, and it's a really lovely peaceful place. So well done them. We'd love to come back, who knows when, but a very good night. Haverfordwest next for a well-known German supermarket. Stop up with milk and tiramisu and bread. Weather's a bit iffy. Apparently it's going to clear up later on. Yeah, it is what it is.
Well, we've stopped at a village called Nevern, Nevern. Have a look at the church here. It's a very beautiful little church. And it says here, the 13th century church is dedicated to St. Brennick, which I've almost certainly pronounced entirely incorrectly. Sal's already gone in to have a look around. There's a young family have arrived as well. So let's go see what it says. There's a bit of a walk here. Yeah, okay. And just beside me, I'll turn camera around in a sec, is a mounting block, which was used to allow the gentry and finery to get on and off the horse as they attended church in what's described as a dignified way. Well, as aforementioned, here is the mounting steps. Very beautifully made. I would suggest restored once or twice, or certainly looked after. So gentry, as I say, could get on off their horse in dignity, or in dignified manner. Oh, well, fair enough. Let's go and have a look. There's a little sort of stream down beside us here. I'm not quite sure whether I'll go and have a look at that or not yet. There's a little waterfall down the end. If I go down a bit and up a bit, if that makes any sense, we might go and investigate that in a while. In the meantime, let's go find the church. Church entrance found. Let us meander in. Well, it's a very majestic entrance with some very large yew trees. Clearly a very, very old place. The Bleeding Yew. Ooh, okay, that's what it says. These are some very big yew trees. I know you see yew trees at churches quite a lot, but I'm going to turn around and have a look. But they are some pretty big yew trees. No idea how old they are. Well, having just walked past the Bleeding Yew, I figured we'd have a little close look at it. And the bark on this tree is very kind of intertwined. It's almost like it's several trees that have merged together, but Probably not. It's a very weird thing, and it goes what can only be described as a long way up, and the canopy joins up with all the others up there. Still not entirely sure what the bleeding bit is. Well, the good lady's just pointed out to me, if we go around this side, oops, I'm sure I have some interesting focus issues here, and turn around, I guess that's why it's called the Bleeding Yew. Half of me wants to put my finger on that and see what it's like, and the other half says don't be stupid. And amazingly for me, the don't be stupid one's the one that's winning, so I don't think I will put my finger on it. Let's go and have a look inside, as if by magic. It's a fair sized place. And the font on my left, it's had some interesting work. One of my first thoughts is a glass screen that's up there, that presumably so the bell ringers can see what's going on. Anyhow, I'll come back round. That is rather beautiful. A large selection of kneelers. Take a walk down here. So I get the camera a bit straighter. Here we go. It is a big place. It's getting a little bit darker in here. Just off to one side. Just a single candle. That's quite a thin candle, so somebody's been in here very recently, because that won't take much burning down. Another beautiful window up at the far end there. And the organ, to be fair, all metal pipes, so maybe not as old as we might like to think. Yeah. Very nice, very peaceful. On one of the window ledges in here, I've just noticed there's a little sign up on the wall. So I can get my pointing finger working. There we go, just up there. And it explains about Ogham writing. And I thought that's interesting. I looked down, and on the window sill there, the window ledge, let's just get into focus a bit more. Yeah, maybe you can just see the marks along the edge there. And then moving further around, as I do these sort of forwards and backwards things. For a start, I absolutely love this tiny little door. I mean, I'm 6'3", 193 in new money, and that door comes up to mid-chest height on me. But I'm just going to come back a bit here, and there's another, if I can do this without injuring myself, a really good sort of carving in there. There's sadly no information panel, so I can't tell you a great deal about it. Well, Sal's just found an informative thing that says the bells here were unringable for 125 years, but in 2021 they were restored to working order, and that could explain why this glass panel's here. And they had a celebratory ringing for over 3 hours and invited many bell ringers to come and join in the celebration. I wonder if we'll hear them go today. I'm not sure what time it is now. I've just noticed the chandeliers here. There's two, one that you can see here, one directly behind me. And they've got this pulley and counterweight system. The pulley counterweight, where it go? Yeah, there, and it goes up to the top there. And I thought, well, why would they do that? And as I come down, I've realised the reason they do that is because these are still using candles. So you'd obviously need to raise and lower this, and I have no intention of trying it in order to replace all the candles. I bet that weighs a fair bit. I liked it in there. Very well kept, very lovely. As I wander around here, this a pretty chunky piece of stonework, very intricately carved. That would have taken some doing, you know. I might need to, the light's not going to do us many favours here if I try not to trip over things as I step backwards. Yep, says he failing dismally in that. We'll start at the bottom. Work our way up. I'm reckoning that is a good 3.5, 4 metres high, about 12 foot in old money. So it's around the other side of it. Oh, this side's seen some weathering. And we'll move all the way up it. Further around the corner, as explore, I come across this, which looks a bit interesting. Not entirely sure what this is about. The whole area is kind of fenced off. I mean, there's a path where lots of people have walked up to it. There's some steps just to the right here. Perhaps that would be a more sensible option. Let's go and have a nosy up here. I see some stones on the wall. Very nice sundial just to my left. I'll get a look at that in a sec. I'm only working on the basis this was the rather well-off people who had effectively their own little graveyard. Yeah. Alright, anyhow, as promised, let's spin back around this way. Sorry to make you all dizzy. A rather splendid thing, which tells us that it's, in theory, somewhere near 1 o'clock, which I'm guessing that won't take into account BST, which we're currently in. So I'm guessing that realistically means it's somewhere near 2ish. Yeah, it does actually sound there, GMT, Greenwich Mean Time. Yeah. And it's the adjustments for various times of year and seasons as well, which is very smart. Well, I followed the sound of water. A very beautiful bridge here. I think it's called a clapper bridge, that type of just lay a slab on top of another one. And noticed the footpath sign. So I went and had another look through this gate. And a little bit of better reading says, please shut the gate. And it says, please keep to the path. So I'll go and keep to the path. I will of course shut the gate as per request. That's rather beautiful. Considering that go through your garden. How lovely is that? This is the path, I guess. I'll try and best to stay on the stones. Yeah, footpath sign. An artistic fish. Wow. Would you look at that? How absolutely fabulous. The stream comes all the way from over there, and I'll spin back round anti-clockwise. I don't want to start filming people's private properties, so forgive me, I'll spin back this way, down beside the church, and off it goes. Hey, it's truly gorgeous. Well, I've just seen this rather fantastic and peculiar thing, and to be fair, did work out what it was. There's a wooden thing there, I guess got some metal inside it. It goes up to a pulley with a chain over it, goes off to a cog over here. I'm going to do this from this side. So when you open the gate, wooden block comes up, and when you let the gate go, gravity does its stuff. Little overshoot there, and the gate shuts. Brilliant. We'll carry on walking round. Been round 3 sides, might as well go around the 4th. Back to the entrance. This must be one of the nicest churches I've visited for a very long time. And we do tend to visit churches. We aren't what I call conventional faith, but I do like a good churchyard. This is getting to be a bit of a habit. We were looking park for night, trying to find somewhere. All kinds of, you can only park here for 3 foot long and all the rest of that stuff. A quick circle around park for night. No, yeah, park for night, there wasn't too much there. And then we tried pitch up, which we've now used a couple of times very successfully, and we're quite happy with it. So we're on this this field basically. There's a shower thingy according to the farmer. There's a portaloo. We're not bothered, we've got our own toilets with us, and we're looking over. If I look over that direction, I'll get a panoramic in a bit. Cardigan Bay, which at the moment is rather dry. And now hopefully the tide will come in. Bit of a sunset. The sky has been reasonably kind to us today, and we'll see what tomorrow brings.